Go ahead.
Birth control availability. With opinionated individuals, its widespread protests, opposing political figures, and intense religious opposers, birth control must be really awful, right? Wrong. Some may ask, why is birth control important? Well, I'm here to tell you. America has the highest teen birth rate. And also, birth control has added health benefits. Oral contraceptives can decrease the risk of anemia by regulating and providing iron for the red blood cells. It protects against uterine and ovarian cancer by removing abnormal cells before they can become tumors. It reduces the development of ovarian cysts by regulating ovulation. It prevents infertility by reducing bacterial infection and inflammation, and it lessens acne-related issues by regulating hormones. And according to a study by NIH, National Institute of Health, over a 40-year period and thousands of women, a study showed that women on the pill for an extended amount of time lived longer because of the reasons I just listed and additional reasons. Birth control clinics save money. They reduce teen pregnancy rates because obviously, like, children cost a lot of money. They can cost at least $325,000 from birth to 18 years. According to an article in the Public Policy Review, without publicly funded clinics, unintended pregnancy would increase 46% and abortion rates would increase 49%. Couples should be able to wait until they're psychologically ready, till they're financially ready for a baby to take this experience on. And many birth control opposers are very pro-life. They hate abortion. Like, they don't like any of that stuff. So if we let birth control be available, then that's just cutting it down from the beginning. We're going to decrease abortion. Also, pregnant teens are much more likely to suffer from postpartum depression, which incurs many costs, like extra daycare, extra psychological services. Birth control also directly saves the government money because these clinics afford fiscal and government benefits. According to the Guttmacher Institute, benefits such as these have saved $4.3 billion in 1 year. Many of these benefits come from avoiding public sector costs for maternal infant care. So what this is saying is that 9 out of 10 of the women that go to these clinics and use these options would qualify for Medicaid, which means that the government would have to pay for their health options anyway. Like, if they were pregnant, they'd have to pay for their dental, their insurance, and if they had the kid, they'd have to pay for their benefits also. And also, many teen parents, as you can see, like, even on TV and even if you know anyone, also have many employment issues. So that just goes right back to the government and unemployment checks. The main reason people are against birth control is religion, and they believe that if you take birth control, it's preventing life and it's ruining God's will. But the earth just simply cannot sustain unlimited population growth. If population continues to grow at an exponential rate, as expected, the organisms on Earth will encounter even more problems than there are now. We're using so many non-renewable resources that if every family was had as many babies as they possibly could, like the Duggars on 19 Kids and Counting, world population growth would be out of control. So environmental problems. If every family had 19 kids instead of the average 2.4 or whatever it is, each family would use 731 million more gallons of water over the lifespan and 884 million tons of garbage. So this is one family. If you multiply this by the 115 million households in the U.S., it would be 101,660,000,000 more tons of garbage. If you take into account that there's 2,000 pounds in a ton. This is a ridiculous amount, and there's no way that we would ever be able to sustain this. As easy as it is for people to simply argue about a debate that's controversial, there's a call to action, like what should we do about this? Proposed solutions such as abstinence-only education don't work. If you tell kids that there aren't any options, just don't have sex, like it's just not going to work. Many studies have been done analyzing these programs, like talking about the funding, and they've all concluded that teens that take a virginity pledge are just as likely to have sex, and they're much more likely to have unprotected sex because they're ignorant to their options, they don't know what's out there, and they were never taught like the right way. The correct solution would be, because funding for abstinence-only education reached $208 million in 2008, if we just took this money that we're wasting on this education that's not working, if we take that and invest it in the family planning clinics, invest it in the right kind of education, well, if everyone knew how all of these problems affect our earth and affect our planet, then I think people would stop and think before making their decisions. People need to be informed of their options and the consequences that their decisions can make. Increased birth control availability equals healthier women, less financial and psychological struggles for families, less wasted money on other subsidies, and a more money saved for the government. It also creates a more beautiful, sustainable planet. There are less diseases, health issues, cancer, and more predictable issues. If less money is going to abstinence-only education and more to other important programs, there's no overused resources, no running out, and less waste, and happier